Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, only the top-rated sports booking app in all of North America, man. They're safe and secure, and more importantly, they are reliable, baby. And whenever we come talking about them on this good show, we know we got gifts for you in terms of promo codes, and that promo code is MOATS for all the new users out there, okay? You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, put the promo code MOATS in there, and you make your initial bet of $5. You know, that's the minimum. You will receive $250 in bonus bets that you can use to push back into the system. Maybe get you a chance to win something, anytime touchdowns. You know, a lot of people be scoring this weekend, so put your hand where you feel good at. But also, you'll be receiving 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on DraftKings. So shout out to DraftKings, man, for number one, the promo code, but number two, allowing you the opportunity to stick with your favorite team wherever you're located at. And that's what you get with NFL Plus Premium. All right. So you see the promo code, you see the deal. It's awesome. But I also know this, Deke. We can run out of control, right? Sometimes you got to have a lot of control. Sometimes you lose it. And when you lose it, man,
yeah.
You feel me? You might feel like you got a gambling problem. You might feel like you need some services. Well, for all my New York people, you see it's a number that you can call /text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. Game week. And I probably should have flipped this, man, done this at the end. But you know what? It'd be like that sometimes. So let's get the preview rocking on the front end. Now, Deke, since this is our first time in the 2024 season doing an official week 1 game preview, I got to talk to you about it, man, because I know last year, you know, we started off and we set the scene, man. We turn it over to you and you give us how you feeling about this matchup, man, what you like, that storyline, how it's going to play out and everything in between. Is that still the case? Can we still get that? You still feeling like that, man, or how you vibing this year, man?
We did that last year?
That's how we did it last year, bro. You was, man, we're going to do this. Kenny going to throw for that. This guy going to do that. That's what you was doing. I just ain't know. I ain't know how you felt, man.
Sure. That's fine. Yeah, I'll give my general idea of how I think this game's going to go.
But to say, because you know me, I'm over here like, man, I got just some matchups that I'm looking out for. But other than that, baby, you know, prediction, we talked about our strengths and weaknesses with this thing.
Yeah, that's fine. So I think we are going to try to run this ball. And I'm still going back and forth on how much success we're going to have. But the more I look at this Falcons roster, it's almost going to be impossible for us not to get something going on the ground, I feel like, with their front seven. Like, I was concerned. Remember last podcast, I was saying I was concerned with how our offensive line looked in the preseason. And I know that's what we want our identity to be. I just don't know early on if we're going to be capable of backing it up with all the injuries to the offensive line. And then
because we said no,
when Najee's out there at times, and if we have these heavy personnels, it's like, oh, it's really obvious we're running it. Like, are we going to be able to live up to that? Everyone in the stadium knows what we're doing, but are we going to be able to execute it?
Yeah.
I don't know in week 1, but part of me, you know, I'm looking at Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, Zach Harrison, Matthew Judon, Caden Ellis, Troy Anderson, and Arnold Ebiketie. Like, that's the Falcons front side. I don't think they're stopping our running game.
Yeah.
I don't. Even with, as I say, Malu being out, even with Broderick Jones, I guess, being a little bit banged up and having a not-so-good preseason performance. Frazier looks good. James Daniels has been solid for us, and Dan Moore has been a steady force. I think that's enough right there. That's enough certainty for me going into this week 1 against this Falcons front seven. So I think we're going to be able to run the ball. Maybe not to the degree of 200 yards like that one dude said a couple of days ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I think we at least get over 100, and that at least gives us some balance.
Okay.
Russ, he's not turning the ball over. I don't think he's going to have to do anything crazy for us if we do get the run game going. Like, part of me did think we were going to have him cook. Now we might at times. We might. There might be a series or two where the run game's not going and Russ is going to have to make something happen on a 3rd and long, almost like we saw in the last preseason game. I think he's going to be steady. I think we're I don't know. Call me a homer or whatever. I think we're just going to put together an all-around good performance on offense here. Good balance, rush shows up, run game's going. We get Pickens involved early and often because that's what we've been trying to do. And that's what we saw whenever we were out at training camp. That's what we saw in these preseason games. It's not only that we'll get Pickens the ball down the field, we'll throw a little slant to him, see what he can do, run after, throw a screen to him. Just get him targets because he's a playmaker. So I think we're going to try that.
Cause shoot, I see my man. Where my man
I
in the
just think
chat? He said
it's gonna be methodical.
Hold on,
I
my
think we're gonna be
man.
pretty methodical.
I seen somebody predicting that GP gonna get 150 receiving or something like that, man. Malachi Species, yeah. He said you need 150 and a touchdown. I'm like, ooh, I like it.
I think he gets like 90.
Yeah.
I hope he gets 150. Obviously, I think he gets like 90. I think with the Falcons secondary, that's one of the things that you could actually tip your cap to for the Falcons is their secondary, and they're gonna be covering Pickens. They're gonna make sure that he doesn't go off for like 150. But I think Pickens naturally, with how good he is, he's still gonna get his numbers. We're gonna scheme we're gonna scheme some stuff up for him because Arthur Smith is actually a competent offensive coordinator, unlike Matt Canada. And then on defense, dude, I think this defense is awesome. I really do. Kirk Cousins coming off this Achilles, I think he's gonna be a little bit rusty. I know the Falcons' line's good, but man, our front seven's crazy. Like it's a glaring difference when you look at these teams' front sevens, like night and day difference. You look at the Falcons versus ours. I think Falcons are probably one of the worst in the league, whereas ours should be
the
one of the
Falcons,
best,
man,
if not the best.
They don't generate a ton of sacks. They don't generate a ton of pressure, and it's still a lot of the same personnel that we're talking about. And it's like, all right, you insert Matthew Judon, you remove Bud Dupree, so to speak, and this is like we still kind of feel like it's the exact same front, the exact same unit. So yeah, I feel what you're saying. I definitely do.
And we talked about the Falcons' talent. I like Bijan Robinson. I like Drake London. I like Kyle Pitts, but Drake London versus a JPJ, I ain't really stressing about that. Bijan Robinson versus Patrick Queen, a Landon Roberts in the run game, and then potentially Peyton Wilson in coverage.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about that much. And same with Kyle Pitts. He's coming off this hamstring injury. He says he's going to play, but I'm sure that's going to be a little nagging for him. So, I just think it's going to be an all-around good game. I think it's going to be like a Steeler football type of game. Just methodical on offense, good balance, and defense gets after it. I think Kirk Cousins gets shaken up a little bit here. Doesn't get re-injured or anything. I just think I think we're going to be throwing guys all around him. He's going to be under duress, and he's not going to have the safety blanket of Justin Jefferson that he's used to. Drake London ain't that dude. Drake London's good, but he's not Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And then I like the matchups with the other guys that we have, or we're going up against. So with the Falcons offense and the talent, as I mentioned, Kyle Pitts versus Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Landon Roberts. Same with Bijan Robinson. If we were talking about the Steelers defense from the end of last year, then yes, I'm a lot more concerned. But there's a reason we drafted Peyton Wilson and signed Patrick Queen. And it's for offenses like this.
But to say, because they are unique in that sense, man. I think physicality, we should be able to have that part be the big imprint. I think that's the big difference. Whenever we play the Falcons or any of those teams outside of the AFC North, you see the physicality that we play, that physical brand. And most teams, man, they don't want to do that for 4 quarters. And when you look at the Falcons, it's like, yo, you got pieces, but are these the pieces that are built for physicality? Or are your guys built for a little bit more in that 7-on-7? Kyle Pitts is a heck of a player. I mean, if we're talking 7-on-7, Kyle Pitts for 4 quarters and Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, and Peyton Wilson have to guard him, man, the same way we would turn around and say if Moof is covered by a linebacker for 4 quarters, we expect Moof to cook. We're going to be over here like, man, if it was just pass coverage only, yeah, man, Kyle Pitts, you probably not going to cook them dudes for a little while. But this is more than just that. You put them pads on, it's a physical game. They're going to hit you. They're going to, blitz. They're going to make him have to sit in there and block and protect. They're going to have to hit him when it's that run game and stuff like that. And that
we'll probably throw makes on him at times too.
But that's the stuff that wears on you. And I think that physical approach, that is when you see a Kirk Cousins get a little bit more rattled. When he is having to play faster, but he's also getting hit. And that's the brand of football that we play. When we talk about on the perimeter, man, Drake London is a dope player. Yeah, if he could free release all day, he could be silky smooth running them routes, of course. But have y'all seen JPJ play? My man is ultra physical. He want to put Palminellis on you, and sometimes it be a little bit down the grass too long, but you know it's just a different brand that the Steelers play. And I think for, teams like Atlanta, it's just a tough matchup because Kyle Pitts, Drake London, even Bijan Robinson. Bijan is dope. Bijan ain't running that thing the way that a Najee Harris runs that rock. So when you're talking about the hits that he could potentially take in this game because of how we run to the ball, you've seen DeMarvin Leal on tape come down there and hit somebody. You've seen Keanu Benton 10 yards down the field hit somebody. We know Cam Hayward going to do it. But it's like, man, that's the type of brand of ball that we play. Can Bijan hold up with that? Or is that ball going to come out? Is he not going to want to hit that hole the same? Whereas with Najee, we know Najee might not be the explosive, pretty, I'm going to win you the, front of the GQ magazine. But Najee's going to punch you in your face over and over and over and over. And I think that those are the things that really, separate us in these matchups where on paper, yeah, you could say, all right, they do got some talent here and here and here. I think that physicality part is the hidden area where that isn't going to be necessarily something we could point to in the stat column, but it's something that when you're watching it, we'll be feeling it and seeing it and be like, yeah, that's the reason why we're moving up and down the field. That's the reason why this Falcons team can't really sustain anything is because of that physicality.
And I think the Falcons are going to want to be physical too.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
we're Raheem Morris.
This crazy spread offense, at least right now. And you look back on Kirk Cousins' teams with the Vikings, even though he had talent, he had weapons. Mm-hmm. He wasn't back there 4 or 5 wide slinging it out like that. No, they were trying to run the ball, and I think that's what the Falcons are gonna want to do here too. Mm-hmm. But I think we're just built for it more.
Yeah, that's what we do. Better. Absolutely, that's what we do. Whereas Atlanta or even the Minnesota Vikings analogy, because we've matched up with them multiple times too, you could just see it's a different brand of physical. That AFC North, man, is different. And that's, I think, a big reason why a lot of us, in terms of our teams in the AFC North, have success when they play outside the conference too, because that type of approach that we bring to the game, man.
All right, so what do you got for your top matchups?
Man, so for me, as I look at it, man, started the quarterback spot for the Falcons, man. In terms of Kirk Cousins, we know dope player, man, electric. In terms of surgeon like with the short to intermediate, will light you up, volume passer, can put up numbers. But at the same time, and we know he will hit you in the face with the ball on occasion. He will get tight when that game is narrowing, when it's 2 minutes left in the half, 2 minutes left in the end of the game, and it's tight. He can and he will typically show that error. Well, this is where I think for Minkah, man, we talk about all offseason. What has he been saying? Man, got to get back to doing that Minkah stuff. We've heard Terrell Austin apologizing for the way that he utilized Minkah last year. These are the type of games where we want to see that. And I look at this no different than when we would play Baker Mayfield at times. And we're watching Minkah pick 6 to open and throw. You're like, dude, how you do that? And it's just Minkah reading eyes, being the great athlete and using his instincts that he's developed through film study. And with Kirk Cousins, he still has some of those same tells. Now, Kirk is a lot better than Baker, but he still has some of those same flaws. And I think for Minkah, this will be one of those opportunities where, man, he is going to make a mistake with that football. You got to capitalize on it. So that's why I start out with that one, man. The next one, bringing it down to the trenches, man, with the homie TJ Watt. Got to talk about him specifically versus Caleb McGarry. Now, for Caleb McGarry, man, see, exactly. So I knew you was going to say who. Former first-round draft pick, 2019, out of Washington, all right? So I know I want to crush him the same way that you would crush him, but then somebody's going to say, well, y'all got Troy. He's from the same school. He's a first rounder, so does that mean he sucked too? So I ain't going to go all the way there. All I'm going to say is TJ Watt we talking about. And for TJ Watt, man, he has a couple of incentives on the plate in terms of why he needs to go out there and just absolutely destroy anybody in his path. Couple sacks away from doing what? Crossing that 100-sack threshold in his career, man. Why not do it this game, right? We also talk about TJ Watt trying to get this Defensive Player of the Year award for the second time in his career. Well, we know he's going to need to start hot, so that way we can keep that media storm that's brewing for him going the whole way. Otherwise, we know he's fighting the Cowboys and he's going to be fighting the Myles Garrett love affair. The third thing, though, is my dog already said he got a new baby on the way. You feel me? So whenever you got that, man, it give you a little extra bonus on the back. So for me, man, this
Dad
is one of
strength.
those ones. Absolutely. Shout out to Dad Strength. Absolutely. So this is one of those ones where I'm like, TJ, man, I don't care if this dude's a first rounder from 2019. TJ, you're a first rounder from 2017. So guess what? You're better. How about that, man? And you've been better. Everybody knows this, but go out there and you got to have that effect. And I feel like that has to be the thing that is constant as well, because with Kirk, he's a rhythm guy. With Kirk, he wants to have that back foot hitting that ball out on schedule. TJ's the guy that wins, and he wins in a hurry. So that's why I'm like, yo, let's get this one going, man. Let's get that fired up. And I like that a lot for us. After that, man, you brought up the man Kyle Pitts. Heck yeah, we got to talk Kyle Pitts. I isolated it to Patrick Queen, man, because I know he's going to get the lion's share of it. I'm sure Mink is going to get some work against Kyle Pitts. I know on occasion, Peyton Wilson will come out there and get some work against Kyle Pitts. For me, this is one of those ones where I don't know if any of these guys are going to just completely blanket Kyle Pitts, because we know what Kyle Pitts is. It's the reason why he was drafted. He is a wide receiver that plays tight end. So his skill set is designed to catch passes and do that type of stuff. But the areas where we have to win are when we can be physical with this dude. When he does catch anything, man, make him have to hold on to that football. Hitting him, driving him to the ground. I feel like those are the things that make Kyle Pitts not be as impactful. We know he is leaking some oil. I know he downplayed the hammy the same way Jaylen Warren downplayed his hammy. But it's like, man, it had to be something.
Jaylen Warren had a lot more time to recover and get ready for week one.
Well, my thing is this. It has to be something, because otherwise the team wouldn't have talked about it. Nobody would talk about it unless it was something. So I'm like, in that capacity, man, we're going to find out to what level it all the way is good. But regardless of that, I feel like, man, with Patrick Queen, this is what you were brought here for. This is what you was paid for. And this is your first chance to prove not just the Steelers Nation, not just to the Baltimore Ravens and Roquan Smith, but also to yourself, that you can and you are that type of dude that is a every single down player, that it don't matter who you playing against, you like that. Because we feel like you are. So it's like, go out here and show it. But with Kyle Pitts, man, the physicality has to be there. You got to bump this dude, make him feel uncomfortable, because if he can just do the pretty running down the grass without getting touched, he's going to be a handful to deal with, man. But I like PQ in that one as well. Now we taking it to our side of the ball, man, on the offensive side of the ball, because they did get one pass rusher, Deke. Not a lot of pass rushers, but they got one guy in terms of the perimeter dude. All right, Matthew Judon. This ain't no shot at Grady Jarrett. Shout out to Grady as well. But Matthew Judon is there, so obviously our tackle situation makes me have to talk about it. Whether it is the Broderick matchup, the Dan Moore matchup, or if at some point questionable Troy, because Troy Fautanu is listed as questionable on the injury report right now. But if he gets an opportunity out there against him, you can't allow Matthew Judon to do his little celebration, get the strip sack, and we don't need that. We don't need that. I don't want to see none of that celebrating from him. All right, so that's the biggest threat, though, in terms of their pass rush from an outside linebacker standpoint. And we know that's going to be the one that we got to look out for the most. And unfortunately, our tackles are the kind of the guys that we got the most questions about as well right now. But the thought process is we got regular season Broderick, so that should be a big uptick in production from him. And Dan Moore's playing for his NFL pride, and he's also planning to get another contract, whether that's here or elsewhere. And if it's Troy, man, Troy's trying to show that he could play in the league as a rookie first-round draft pick, man. So all three of those guys are going to be highly motivated for this. But Judon, yeah, we know we got to respect it. And then the last one for me, man, is going to be just Russ versus that secondary. Jesse Bates gets a ton of turnovers. Justin Simmons has created a good amount of turnovers. AJ Terrell is a really good corner in this league, man. Just got paid also. Those are three dudes that can take the ball away from you, man. They got depth. They got a Clark Phillips over there, man. Dude that we talked about a couple of years ago coming out of Utah that we liked, man. It's like just across the board, they got those type of guys that can capitalize on a mistake. And for Russ has traditionally been really good with the football. Even last year when he was out in Denver, was really good with the football. So it's like, man, that has to continue in the sense of keeping those turnovers down, because if you put it in harm's way versus those type of guys, man, they will capitalize on it. And that is what can make this Falcons game get weird if we start having those turnovers, because they shouldn't be able to hang with us. But if we start giving them extra possessions, Now that game gets a lot different because Kirk is still competent in that sense that he's not going to go out there and just completely, throw the game away. So I do feel like, man, for Rush, he's got to be a little bit respectful of this secondary. We ain't fearing them, but you got to be respectful of them dudes, man. You even kind of alluded to it in the sense of talking about the GP matchup. Like, as much as I would love for it to just be GP one-on-one versus AJ Terrell or anybody else over there, we know that's not going to be the case. They're going to have somebody helping out, whether it's Jesse, whether it's Justin Simmons over there. They're going to have those dudes paying extra close attention to GP. So for Russ, man, let's just make good decisions with it, baby. But like I said, those are the matchups for me, man.
That just means Van Jefferson,
Come
Calvin
on,
Austin,
heck yeah.
Pat Fryermuth. This could be your time.
Facts, man. Because if you're the DC over in Atlanta, man, that's the main guy that you're looking at right now and saying, he can't beat us. If he doesn't beat us, who else is going to be the answer at wide receiver? Can it be Van Jefferson for 4 quarters? Can it be Moore for 4 quarters? Can it be Calvin Austin for 4 quarters, right? That's the thing that for, the Falcons, they look at that as, we like this opportunity, or we like this to, to challenge him that way. And I think for our guys, it's a great opportunity to prove yourselves. They've heard the chatter, not just from how we talk media wise, but think about organizationally, right? That offer was in there for Brandon Ayuk. So we know how the organization felt about the group. So it's like, if y'all don't like what that was, if y'all don't like how that made y'all feel, this is your perfect chance to prove that y'all don't need any extra hope in here, that you guys are capable of being legitimate, productive wide receivers out here, man. So for me, man, I like that opportunity as well for him. Shout out.
Do we know what the deal is with Roman Wilson?
In terms of injury report, he's just listed as questionable. Him, Jalen Warren, Troy Fautanu. Yeah, those are the three. Those are the three on offense listed as questionable. And then Corey Trice, he was listed as questionable as well.
Man.
Yeah. But other than that, everybody else is good to go. Yeah. And Logan Lee. Logan Lee is questionable. Yeah. Isaac's out. In terms of out already, Isaac Seumalo was ruled out. Cole Holcomb, obviously, he's on the list right now, so he's done. Or not done, but he's out for right now, anywho. So, yeah. But, those are the only updates. And Logan Lee is questionable as well. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a good sign, at least, that Roman Wilson is questionable to play week 1. I don't think we got to rush him back, but
and then
maybe he'll be out there sooner than what I thought.
And then on Atlanta's side, Kyle Pitts listed as questionable. Their fullback, Robert Burns, is out. And then they have a backup linebacker, Nate Landman. He's listed as questionable as well. But other than that, everybody else looks good to go on their injury front.
What do you got score prediction?
Hey, man, I was about to ask you that first, man. How you feeling about it, bro?
Well, based off the way I laid it out, feels like 24. Steelers score 24. Honestly, maybe even 27. Maybe it's like 27-17. I was going to say 24-17, but I don't know why. I got a good feeling about this offense against the Falcons defense.
You should.
I do. I saw what I needed to see in that last preseason game.
Yeah.
From Russ and the starters. That's all I needed to see. I know it wasn't anything crazy, but that third and long pass to Pickens,
it was enough.
That was nice. The score up the middle, that little handoff to Patterson for that long run. That's all I needed to see, just to know, okay, I think we're in good hands.
Yeah. Have the guys look like guys. Yeah.
I'm going 27-17 then.
All right. I like that. 27-17. I definitely dig that. Hey, and I see some of y'all dropping y'all score predictions in the comment section. Continue. Drop them real quick, man, so we can read them off. All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I do see Malachi Espesha. I be butchering your last name every single time. I hope you forgive me. You know it's all love. He dropped a 24-13. Steeler Nation on fire, giving us a 27-20 Steelers. Chuck PZ has it 24-20 Steelers. Mike gives it 24-17. He says, been my prediction for a while. I want to see a 40+ yard touchdown pass, though. That's what he wants to see. So we will see about that. That would be electric, man. GP is capable of doing that, or Calvin Austin potentially. I like both of those. Let's see. Rod Dollar has a 16-14 Steelers. Big Spoogie. Saw the Big Spoogie. 49-7 Steelers. Noriega has it 34-14.
Oh, he's got to be that guy, huh?
Falcons. Oh my gosh. Ah, yeah. Why, yada. Shout out to
Literally, I
Noriega.
was just about to say, it's week 1, so you know the chat, Steeler fan. Everyone's
Everybody,
excited
right?
about this team. Everyone's saying Steelers, right? There's no negativity, and then
That's what I was
Noriega's got to
thinking.
be that guy.
I was like, did that say 34? I was like, hold on, bro. That's the
What's
wrong
his reason?
name.
I want to hear his reasoning for this.
Come on, Noriega. Talk
Because
to us,
last
man.
year he was blaming Kenny.
Yeah, because, Kenny was.
Why does he got the Steelers losing this one?
I
Why is
don't
he
know.
so down?
Yeah. Maybe he says the Kenny Ripple effect. He feel like we still got some Kenny on us.
You know what? I don't think he likes Russ. I think he's more of a Fields guy, now that I think of it.
Waiting to see. Let's see. Brandon Griffin has a 31-16 Steelers. Frank K 20-17 Steelers. Huh.
Buck
But-
Knoll. Yeah, he's got 24-10 Steelers.
Let's go. Yeah, come on, Noriega, man. Oh, he probably typing something up real quick. Oh, he says, I'm not a believer in Russell, excuse me. He called him out his government. Jeez. Shout out
Man,
to
but does that have
Noriega.
anything to do with us giving up 34 points on defense?
I was about to say, look, is Russ throwing pick sixes? Is that what you saying? Because I was like, our defense can't be that bad that we giving up 34 to the Falcons in week 1.
Yeah, can't he have us losing like 20-14 or like 17-14 or something like that?
Hey, or even 20-3. We just can't score. But don't let them score 34 on our defense. Like,
Yeah. I have faith in this defense.
Heck yeah.
This defense should be legit.
X Concepts does as well. He says the first touchdown of the year will be by the Steelers defense. I like that. Noriega says that cornerback room is suspect.
Come on.
Okay.
We're talking about just our third cornerback.
Okay.
Top 2 outside guys are solid. Our safeties are good.
Jeez.
And I like the potential rotation we could have for our third cornerback. It's just they're all unproven, but Trice Rush and Beanie Bishop, they all got upside. They all got something in their game.
Noriega say, man,
we
I
could
don't
see,
care
like,
about no
midway through,
upside.
oh, wow, these guys got a spot. These guys have carved out a little niche.
Hey, go ahead. Now see, Noriega's contagious. Now we got Simeon McDonald's. It says 17-10 Falcons. See? You know what I'm saying? But at least that is more of all right, our offense is struggling to score. That's what that sounds like, but our defense is still our defense. You know I need my defense right, man. Don't have our defense out here giving up 30 plus in the first game. Y'all gonna have me over here hot and sweaty, man. I don't need that. No. Okay.
Noriega doesn't think Beanie Bishop is ready. I'm not saying for certain that he is, but I
mean, that's
think
fair.
the Steelers are going to protect Beanie Bishop / that position.
Yeah.
It is our weakness, but I think we're going to have some workarounds and figure it out.
Yeah. And I do agree. The same way we talk about the Falcons doing certain things to mitigate George Pickens' ability to take over this game by making sure that they're going to have somebody pressing up on them, putting hands on them. They're going to have, rolling coverage over the top to just make sure that it's 2 guys or eyes accounted for him. We're going to do similar things to help out Beanie Bishop, man. We're not going to just have Beanie out there, completely hung out to dry saying, man up, do what you do for 4 quarters. I know it's your first time starting in the NFL, rookie. Have fun. Like, nah, we ain't going to do that.
Yeah, we might not even have him out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you might mess around and see more. Yeah, I'm about to say you might see the 3 safety look, but instead of them going to nickel as often. And they might try to say, okay, Casey, you come out here and play a little bit more. They got some flexibility with that, where it does give you a little bit more of a bigger physical approach. And we know with Atlanta, especially with Kirk Cousins, it should be more of a bigger personnel grouping set just because Cal Pitts, right? We know Cal. They're going to want him on the field. That's a tight end still. We know with Drake London, man, that's not the guy that we're worried about necessarily, like we said, down the grass killing us. And they don't have this robust group of receivers where it's just, 5 wide all the time. We're going to see a lot of 12 personnel. They employ a fullback still. Remember, their guys is already hurt. But it's a little bit some similarities between how both of our offenses are going to try to attack with that running the ball play action. Just for us, it's more of the GP. Whereas for them, we feel like it's going to be more of that Cal. I feel like Cal Pitts more so than Drake London. But like I said, man, we could see that. I think we'll see that 3 safety look a little bit more. So, yeah, we're going to do certain things to help Benny out.
And my thing is this. why aren't we looking at everything else we got going for us on defense as opposed to just nitpicking that slot cornerback spot? I get it. You want to lock in on your weaknesses, improve them as much as you can, but look at the 10 other guys we're going to be having out there on defense. Like,
Yeah.
holy hell. It's absolutely loaded. So I don't think this little slot corner question for us is going to absolutely tank our defense and have
Right.
us giving up 30 points a game.
Yeah, because I
I
was
think we're
like,
going to work
30?
around it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we do figure something out within like the first month, because some of those guys that could step up and be our third corner, they got talent. Like, I really like
Yeah.
Corey Trice. I know he's not an inside guy, but if we get him out there and he's making plays, I'm sure we'll configure something where we bump Dante Jackson to the inside sometimes for certain formations. Darius Rush, I think he makes plays whenever he's out there. Like, he hasn't really let me down. And then Beanie Bishop. Yeah, I mean, he's an undrafted free agent, but there's a reason he made the 53-man roster.
Yeah. About to say, so I feel like we're gonna be all right. Like I said, plus TJ got to get this 100 sack, man. We need 100 career sacks. We need what, 3.5, 3.5. So we need to get that done. So I need all that. So while TJ is hunting them sacks, man, that's gonna help Beanie out as well. And we also got a Highsmith over there too, and a Killer Ken who just got paid.
We have Nick
Come
Herbig
on,
as our
man.
third edge rusher.
Yeah.
We have Peyton Wilson as our
Come
third
on,
linebacker.
man. We got a dude named DeMarvin Leal who we are pretty excited about because what he was doing this preseason in terms of making in-stadium plays. So we got options. We got some dudes, man. We got some dudes. Now, Delvore Johnson, I haven't forgotten my prediction. This is how we do it, all right? Deke on the front end, Chat in the middle, and then I, give you the rest of the sandwich, all right? So I got you. We just talking through it. I ain't forget. But yeah, Noriega had distracted us, man. Yeah, because everybody was telling us, Steelers, and it was like Noriega was like, whoa, what's this? Kind of distracted us for a little bit. But for me, man, I like this matchup a lot for us, man. I feel the physicality is the difference. That's what separates us. There are some talented pieces over there. I am not gonna lie to you, man. It's like, yo, you can start over here if you wanted to, but our brand of football is going to be more physical versus where I feel like they have a little bit more of the athleticism, but it's more for, like I talked about earlier, that 7-on-7 style of play. That brand isn't going to work versus us. And for that reason, I have it 23-18 Steelers. I do think, man, Kirk is going to find a way to get, Kirk going to do his Kirk stuff, man. And when he get going, man, he get that rhythm second, third quarter. I think they will be able to, get a touchdown or two. But I feel like as a whole, it won't be a situation where we feel like the game is out of hand or we don't feel like we're in control. You know how those games go, man. Almost like the Rams game last year, where it was like, man, we felt good about it the whole time, but it did get a little dicey. It was like, oh, all right, come on now. But we felt in control. And I feel like for this one, it should be the same, man, because our physicality is going to be the difference in this matchup, man. So like I said, man, 23-18 for the good old black and gold, baby. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.